And welcome aboard the Tabletop Express. This is our favorites game series, and tonight we're talking about games that got a heavy dose of luck. Uh, you can
Mm.
you can guess by Anthony a little bit of why this is such a great theme for this time of year. Um, but with that, I should say welcome to Anthony, Board Game Dads, and of course, as always, my co-conductor in High Train Crime, Ryan Espin.
Howdy. Howdy.
I don't
You,
know what
you,
High Train Crime is. It's
you know,
Is
it's
that what
true what
that
they
movie
say.
Money Train was about?
Oh, it's been a while
could
since I've
be.
seen Money Train. Is there a Money Train board game coming out? Please, Prospero Hall, if you're listening. Money Train, the board game. Do it up.
I'm pro. I'm pro that. But look, I'm excited. We're here to talk about games with a lot of luck, right? And when we talk about luck, I want to just stress this because I was in a thread earlier today and someone was talking about how
Uh-oh.
luck divides people and all this. And I want to be really clear. I don't think luck is a bad thing. I think there's a lot of great things about luck-based games or heavy luck-based game, which is especially when you talk about introducing people, everyone feels like they've got a shot. Like, you push your luck a little bit. And I think that's what makes luck fantastic. And a
Mhm.
lot of great games mitigate your luck factor, even when luck is a heavy factor. So this is a very positive conversation to me. And I think luck is awesome. And some of the games tonight, I think will really kind of bring that home. That's my feeling on luck in a board game. But every game, for the most part, has some sort of luck, and that's why we're a little more focused on
Sure.
pushing your luck type games.
For most part, yes.
Yes.
I would agree with you. I mean, obviously, there's different levels of luck, and
Yes.
this is the luckiest of lucks today.
Yes. I just think we're lucky to all be here, get to talk about games tonight. So let's have some
Okay.
fun and do that. I think we're gonna
I'm
lead
starting
off
it off.
with you, Ryan,
Yeah,
if I'm
you know,
correct.
because I'm lucky. You know, they look at me and they say, "He's so lucky. He's a
That was your
star."
that was your nickname in high school, I think, right?
Yeah, actually.
Lucky Espin. Here comes
Uh,
Lucky Espin.
Also,
so,
hi to Ryan and hi to Sarah. Want to make sure
oh
we say
yeah,
hello to both of them.
howdy chat, howdy. Okay, I'm gonna start right away with and Lauren, hi Lauren. We're
Oh,
gonna start
look.
with my number 5. Now, in terms of luck, and this is what I look for luck in a board game. I look for luck and cheer across the table. Okay, when I associate a game that is great in luck, if players around the table, even if it's not you winning, can go, "Whoa, it happened," and I love that. I love that. Um, Number 5, just pull up. It's Galaxy Trucker. Galaxy Trucker is a Vlada Cavallo board game. Vlad's my boy. He's a great designer. Probably my favorite designer. Galaxy Trucker is a game that is nonsense in a box. Don't play this if you want to, I guess, be the only winner in the game. Because how the game works is you are delivering cargo. You're making your ship, delivering cargo, and the players who have at least $1 left at the end of the game will win. So you just need to have a single buck or more, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, but if you got money, you win. Um, the game starts with tile laying. You pull tiles blind from this pile of tiles. You flip them over your board and you say, "Do I want this one on my board or not?" Because every tile is important, but some are more important than others, and that depends on the second half of the game. So you build your ship, and then you set your ship off to go on planets, collect cargo, fight pirates, get kidnapped, have space races, avoid asteroids. It's wild. It's unfair, but it's such a blast. If you're in the right mindset of knowing, hey, I just want to I just want to see where this goes and see what's left, because what's going to happen is your ship, it's all tiled, and when a tile comes off, if other tiles are attached to that tile, they're going to fall off too. And you're going to start with this giant ship that just turns into like a 3 tile mess if you're lucky. It's great. I love it. I want to play this right now. Galaxy Trucker. That's my number 5.
I played this at PAX Unplugged for the first time because I've long wanted to, and I did really fall in love with that aspect of it. The fact that you build it and then this entire ship just gets destroyed,
Yeah,
but you kind of are okay with it.
you
if
have to be okay with it.
like, because it's gonna happen. Like, and you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You don't also know when you're building the ship, like, am I building this effectively for what's gonna happen? Like, you're just kind of like, I hope so.
Yeah.
And then you go into it. So
Well, it definitely more advanced players who played it before. They definitely have an advantage because they kind of know what to expect to some degree, and you can look at the cards when you're building your ship as to what's going to be coming up.
Yeah.
But there's like a timer that you're going up against, and you really need to make sure your ship is finished before that timer ends. So I haven't played the new version of Galaxy Trucker, but what I've seen about the old version and new version is that the new version basically is just a revamp of the art. And it takes the main game and just whittles it down to become a smaller game. But there's options in that box to play the bigger game. So honestly, you can go with either, whatever. If you want everything with the expansions, though, you want to go with the older one because the newer one doesn't have all the expansions with it yet. Yet, right, exactly. There's the iPhone app is fantastic for this, by the way, too. They did a really great job with the iPhone app. And yeah, this game is just dumb fun, dumb luck in a great way. And that's my number 5. Anthony, have you played this?
I have not. I have heard mixed things about this game. It's one of those polarizing games.
It is.
But I mean, I would definitely give it a shot. It sounds like just the type of fun that I would enjoy. And to the point that you guys made earlier when we started, you know, I feel like you're going to find that all of the games on our list here, in addition to having a heavy luck element, are very welcoming and introductory games. Right? Because of that. You here's what you're trying to do, and this might happen. Okay, there, the strategy is taken down a notch. There certainly is a little bit, and especially in this game, from what I gather, and in my first pick too. But having that luck element really does most of the time even the playing field for folks. So it's great to get new people into the hobby with these types of games.
Totally. And this game I played for the first time, I hated it. I hated the first time I played Galaxy Trucker. Because I was in that mindset of I wanted to win, and then I played it again. It was Galaxy Trucker or How I Learned to Stop Wanting to Win and Love the Game. That's the full title of Galaxy Trucker.
Well, you've teased a little bit, Anthony. What do you got for your number 5?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my number 5 is definitely has the least amount of luck in my picks anyway. And again, it's just not one that might come to mind when you're thinking of this list, but it's Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is definitely an introductory game. This is many people's first game that got them into the hobby with due cause. It's very simple to teach. There are a ton of different versions of it. If you've never heard of this game before, really quickly, you are going to be building train routes by collecting different color cards and then playing sets of those cards, depending on how many spaces are in that route. So you play 3 cards to fill up a route of 3. You put your little plastic trains down, and now you have that route. And you're going to do that, fill up the whole map, basically. The luck comes in this. I mean, obviously, it's a card game, so there is an element of luck as to which color cards are going to come out in the display. But in addition to just filling in connecting those cities, at the beginning of the game, you get these destination tickets that have 2 specific spots on them that you're trying to complete throughout the course of the game. If you complete it, you just keep it a secret. At the end of the game, you show them all. You can choose to, on your turn, take more of these later on in the game. So inevitably, what ends up happening is, as the map gets filled up, you're very likely sometimes to pick new destination cards and take a look, and you're like, oh man, I already have this route completed. Like, it just happens to be in the middle of this longer thing that I did earlier in the game, and I already have. I'm going to keep this one for sure. It's just 7 free points. Or you're like one route off of finishing that one. You're like, hey, I got 10 trains left. I can finish that little 2-space one, and now I'm going to get this one too. That's where the luck comes in for me, is you can really, really get a big swing of points in one turn if you get really lucky and gather 2 or even 3 of those new destinations that are already finished. And then you just kind of sit back and enjoy the points as they come in later at the end of the game.
And you can really push. Like, you can think, I'm going to go for this because I can't I've got all my routes done. There's 8 trains left. Maybe I've got enough to get one. I'm going to pull a card
Yeah.
and make that choice, and it could cost you. But it might also be the reason you get the longest route and get some extra points. So you're thinking you might take that path instead, actually. So
Right.
there's a lot of different ways you can swing it. But it's true. There is, any game like this where you're counting also on cards coming out to do your tracks. There's definitely some luck involved in that. But I do agree. This is one where luck is not just the cards. Luck is also the routes you get. You
Yeah.
could get 2 really bad routes that do not in any way interconnect. And that's, gets you off to a start of, am I going to try to do this? Or I'm going to stick to one, and some thoughts meeting. So there's some strategy in there, but definitely a heavy dose of luck in this one, more so than I've thought about it until you mentioned it.
I mean, that's a great point
Yeah.
because I know with Tickets to Ride, I always push myself to get extra tickets at the end.
Oh yeah.
I always do. I just love doing that, and that's why, like, even with the different Ticket to Rides out there, that's why I tend to really go between Europe and Nordic countries, because Nordic
Mhm.
countries you get bonuses for having the most completed tickets, and
Yep.
I just So yeah,
And
that
more
is great.
ways. It also mitigates luck in Europe, as we talked about
Yeah.
when we did the live teach. The fact that there's other ways to get connections, and so
That's true. Yeah, with the stations. Yep.
But yeah, no, it's a great choice. You bring up some points I didn't even think about in terms of luck.
Yeah, this one was kind of out of the box, and it kind of came to me at sort of the last minute. But after I thought about it for a while, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is a good number 5. So that's my number 5. Ticket to Ride, a good song as well.
Yeah.
So my number 5 was almost a few different things. There's a bunch of stuff I wanted to include. I almost put, and it's not on this list, I almost put Hit Z Road, which I've talked about a lot on here. We just played this recently. I actually played with Ryan. We came down to a final dice roll where our friend rolled 8 times with 1 die left to eventually tie with me.
Yeah.
So there was a ton of luck. I didn't go with it because I did want to talk about something a little bit different. And arguably, I will say, probably I don't like it as much as Hit Z Road, so cheating a little bit, but it's this game called High Risk by ELO Games. And what I like about this game, and I always like to feature when I do these, a small game that you can get to the table with friends, family, and ELO always opens up to that. In this game, you're going to have a mountain that you're trying to go up. You're trying to ascend it, and spots where multiple people can be, and then spots where only individuals can be. And in the process, you're trying to jump ahead of people, bump people down. It doesn't feel mean because there's only one spot to go, which is one reason I like it. But you're rolling dice, and you can get to roll the dice again, all the dice again, if you end up rolling all the dice without having any negatives and knocking any of your people down. So you could keep pushing your luck and then get to go again. So you're constantly thinking, do I want to go for it? Do I want to go for it? There's free dice in it that like Lightning Bolt is the danger dice. There's the Ascension dice, which is the mountains, and then the weather that does nothing. But if I got through with only Ascension and weather dice, then I'd get to go again if I rolled all of them. Because once you've rolled it, you stop, put it aside. You always have to keep at least one. So it's a fun little game. It's not a game I play all the time. We play it over dinner. It's very easy. It'll take 15 minutes. But in terms of luck, I mean, there's a lot of luck and there's a lot of pushing in this one. Quite literally, you're going to be moving characters, moving those meeples. They're cute little meeples, by the way, these cute little hiker meeples. This was from ELO Romaine, by the way, on BGG, this photo in particular. But yeah, great little game. I really do enjoy it every once in a while. And I think for families or something as a quick game, it works great. So it's a game that I have in my collection. I'm happy that it's in my collection, and very easy to teach, I will say, Anthony, because as we talk a lot when you and I speak, I do like having these in my collection. I can just pull off the shelf and teach to anyone. And this is definitely one of those.
I should try this. This sounds cool.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's only got like a 6 point something on Board Game Geek, but I don't take much stock in that because Board Game Geek ratings are what they are.
There's too many games for that to matter that much, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's also a simple little game, and it's not meant to be all that complex, and I love it for what it is. So I encourage people to check it out, and you could probably get it pretty cheap, to be quite honest. You probably don't have to spend too much to get this one these days.
I
So.
should try it, and get to climb a mountain. That's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain
Well,
Kirk.
that would be my number 5, High Risk.
Nice. All right, I'm jumping in. Now, I noticed, by the way, High Risk, is that co-designed by Trevor Benjamin. So my number 4 was a game that was brought out by another designer. His name is David Thompson, and he co-did, if that's the same Trevor Benjamin, they did War Chest and they did Undaunted. But this is a David Thompson design with another designer. I forget his name, but it'll be on the next slide. So let's just go right to it. Number 4, By Stealth and Sea. This is a war game, and it's a really interesting one. So, By Stealth and Sea is a very let me go top of the setting right away because it's kind of engrossing. It's a World War II board game, and you are playing as the Italian frogmen. That's their division. You see those guys that are motorcycle riding a torpedo? That's who you get to be in this game. And those torpedoes are the worst things. In this game, you have to make it to enemy territory, which I think is the British in this case, and you have to drop off a warhead onto one of the ships and explode it, and then destroy your ship. You have to scuttle it, and then you have to escape. And it's very push your luck, very unfair. The very first scenario of this game is designed to go against you. It's primarily a solo game, but you can play with up to 3 players because it's a historical game where your ship that you're riding, they were notorious for breaking down. And every turn you're flipping over cards saying, oh, we have a failure with your wetsuit or a failure with the battery. And you have to roll dice to see if you succeed. And you just roll on a single D6 if you're going to succeed or not, unless you have additional skills that you'd roll additional D6. But again, that's a risk. The other risk now is it's kind of like Robinson Crusoe, where in Robinson Crusoe, you send out a worker to a spot, and if you send out a single worker, you do that single worker with a set of dice and you roll to see if you succeed, or you can do 2 workers to succeed. It has that mechanic in there, okay? But the coolest mechanic about it is the alert deck. So how the enemies come out against you, they go through top to bottom this list of things they're going to do. They're going to do searchlights, and they're going to have patrol ships, but if they succeed or not is depending on how they rolled. But they don't roll with dice. There's a deck of cards, and it's 36 cards, and it's set in probability where there's a single 2 card, a single 12 card, and majority of the cards 7s and 8s and 6s. And whenever the 12 card comes out, you look at your deck of cards and in the discard pile, and if there's anything less than a 7, you're going to take the lowest number and remove all the cards of that number. So if the 2's in there, you're going to remove the 2. If the 4 is in there, you're going to remove all 4s from the deck. You shuffle it up again and you go back. So the enemy gets to be harder and harder. And it is, oh man, it's crunchy. It's totally mean. It's totally unfair. But when you succeed, you cheer because it's yeah, I just took that guy out. Warhead did it. And it's just the whole thing. And you're doing that while oh well, the ballast tank blew, so now I can't go underwater. So it's wild. There's the story is really cool. There's some cool videos online about this sort of stuff. And in this game in particular, David Thompson has a companion book that goes over the actual history of it all. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, try it out. And if you like solo gaming, if you like Robinson Crusoe in that regard, you should give it a shot if you can get it at a decent
And we
price.
unintentionally made the connection you mentioned because I did double check. We are talking about the same Trevor Benjamin on my pick.
We are, right?
Did War Chest. So
yeah.
So there's which is another great game, by the way. War Chest is fantastic. So
and yeah. So, but again, this game, you're on the seat of your pants because you really need to push. Really need to do as many rolls as you can and hope for the best. So that's By Stealth and Sea. Give it a shot.
Love it.
Sounds cool.
Love it. I would like to try this. Sounds interesting. I do like the games that are, as I've noted, I like Robinson Crusoe. So
Mhm.
it sounds like I would like this one.
All right. My number 4 is definitely the silliest game on my list. It is not a pretty game to look at. The production value is pretty low. And I will say that I do not own this game, and I was fortunate enough to learn it and play it with a very upgraded version. And that game is called Magical Athlete. So the first time I experienced this game was actually at the Dice Tower Retreat. And Tom Vassell has, I think, I don't know, 200 something different characters that you can play as in this game with different dice and different pawns. It's just the base game is really, really crappy. And it's just a race around this board. And to make matters worse, it's just a roll and move game. You're rolling a d6 and moving that many spaces. That's it. Where the luck comes in, if that's not lucky enough for you, is that before the race starts, you're going to do a draft basically to get your racers on your team. You're going to be given a certain amount of money to spend at the beginning of the game. And then a set of racers are going to be set out on the table, and you're going to be drafting them by bidding for them, paying for them. You'll do that, I think, 4 or 5 times. It depends how many races you want. I think it was 5 when I played. So basically, everybody does that, gets a team of 5. And at that point, the money is whatever you spent is done. Doesn't do anything else. You're then going to set up a race, and you're all going to secretly choose one racer to compete in that race. So the cool part comes in is that every single one of these racers has a special ability. And some of them are, really simple. Some of them are a little complex, but none of them are like too hard that you can't understand them. They're all going to mitigate the way you move somehow, right? So it becomes not just rolling a d6 every time it's your turn. It's, you roll 2 d6s for this character. Or if you're in last place, you get to add 3 to whatever you roll. Or if you ever get passed by someone, you get to, eat them or so. I mean, it's absurd. It's so silly and it makes no sense, but man, is it a lot of fun. And I mean, it's just funny. Vassal's even like, I'm going to teach you one of the best games that's ever been designed in the world, Magical Athlete. It's like, what is that? He brings it out. You're like, what? He's like, trust me. It's so fun. We played it multiple times. I would definitely get my hands on this one if it's even in print. I don't know if it is or not. Like I said, he's got like fan-made cards. If you go on BGG, people made up their own characters for this. They made racers based on popular IP characters and did their abilities according to that. I think I was the Cthulhu racer in one of the races, and like I think it was something that as soon as someone finished, because you do 2 laps, as soon as someone finished the first lap, I automatically moved 6 on every turn, and so like I was like in last for a good bit, and then just came back and rocked it. It's so off the wall. It's so much fun.
That's
Magical
wild.
Athlete. I had never heard of it before. He taught it to us, and I was like, "This is awesome." So silly.
I like Off the Wall. So that kind of the fact that you talk about all those characters that also
Crazy.
obviously adds wide variety to it. So it probably adds some fun. So
It does.
It
And the
sounds like
box is just like a mishmash of components, right? He's got D20s in there, and he's got,
Oh, jeez.
unicorn poo icons and
Yeah.
like, action figures and stuff. It's just crazy.
put it on the list to get.
Yeah, I tried that.
time.
Yeah.
That
This
sounds
I
like
guess
a
we gotta
Cosmic
go on
Frog
the-
kind of mess.
We gotta guess. I go on the Dice Tower cruise or sometime or something and play with Tom Vassell. Then it's sounds like the only way we're going to play a proper game of this. 'Cause-
Dice Tower Retreat is tickets are going open to the public on March 23rd, I believe.
Well, there you go.
It's like 5 days of just straight up gaming.
Well, I will tell you, for what it's worth, Anthony, my game is a little bit. It's in the same realm of just, I think, wacky and silly and so ridiculously easy. And it's not one I've played in person because Tasty Minstrel Games made this one, and I don't have a physical copy of it. But I played a lot on BGA, and if I could get custom dice to make this game, it'd probably be cheaper than finding the game.
Mhm.
And that is Martian Dice. This game is so silly, so fun, and you gotta damn well be lucky because you're literally rolling these dice. You're chucking these dice, and um, you've got these essentially these humans, these cows, and these chickens, which you want to capture as the aliens, with the militaries coming after you. So the military piece, the dice are, if there's more military dice face up than your own ships, essentially you're going to get no points in that given round. But you are going to get the points when you are able to capture the humans, the chickens, and the cows. Here's the crux: if I take one chicken, I can't be taking a chicken if I get 5 chickens on the next roll. So I got to be thinking about what I'm taking. But if I take 5 chickens and there's 3 tanks out, I might not be able to have enough to defend. It's such an easy game. It's on Board Game Arena. I see Daniela's in here saying loving Martian Dice too. I've played a lot of games with Daniela on BGA, so I'm not surprised that Danielle likes it. Actually, I think my first game of this was against her, and I don't think either one of us knew what the hell we were doing. But it's so silly. And so literally, if I could just get the custom die to make this game, I'd have the game. Like, that's all you need is the dice. So that's it. But yeah, so much fun. I highly recommend you check it out. If someone owns this, I mean, then that's good for them. They don't make it anymore because TMG is, not a thing. But great little game, and I dig it. It's definitely a push your luck to the max. And again, as you said, just like rolling dice to move, this is literally just rolling dice and hoping you get lucky every single time.
That's what tonight is, my man.
Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
that would be number 4.
Yeah, this is a great one. I play this one a lot too. I do own it, and it's really easy to teach and just fun because you get to shake the cup and you get to roll all these dice at the same time. It's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just enjoyable. So yeah, that's my number 4. Anyone ever wants to play some Board Game Arena, just come find me and I'll put a game together right there. Just look Tabletop Express up.
Cool.
So that's our number 4s. Ryan.
That's me.
Number 3.
All right. Before I go into my number 3, I must mention something. So there's luck. There's also bad luck, right? There's good luck and there's bad luck, right? And before I jump into number 3, I just want to give the shout out to Pandemic, where in Pandemic, which is a cooperative game that you're working against the game, you can get really bad luck and just lose the game right out because of how the cards were dealt, right? Yep. This next game has that, but in spades. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a clever thing. Let's just go to it. Number 3 is Burgle Bros, which I mentioned in a last video not too long ago. Now, Burgle Bros is a game that takes that bad luck that could happen to you in Pandemic and brings it up to 11. This is Ocean's 11, the board game, essentially. You are going into a building, 3-story building, trying to make it out with different goods that you find in the safes on the different floors. You break the safe, you take the loot, and you escape out on the helipad. Okay. This game, though, there's 3 floors. Each floor is made up of 16 rooms, which are those tiles. And also each floor has a bunch of these wooden walls in between them. And you need to find the safe and all the tiles that are in the same column and row as the safe to unlock the safe. And most of the tiles are really bad. They're like traps, like lasers or security cameras or like motion detectors, And not only that, each floor has a guard on them that the guard is trying to just go do their patrol. And anytime the guard runs into you, you have to like give a stealth token, kind of like Legends of the Hidden Temple. You give like one of those totems away to the guards. And if you don't have those totems, you're out. Game over. Everyone loses. Okay. So you have to make sure to make it out of the shrine of the Silver Monkey. And this game is a blast. This is a picture that from PAX Unplugged. I played this. That's my 3D printed copy. And man, this game is just a riot. And when you lose, yeah, try it again, no problem. But when you win, when you pull off a heist, oh man, everyone is cheering. It's like the greatest thing on the planet. Like, oh, we just did it! No way! It's like, oh my god, are we gonna do it? We're gonna do it. And there's times where like, oh, we got this, and then the guard's like, we're gonna go over here, and it's like, come on, But but and but it's such an incredible feat when you can pull it off. It's just like, holy moly, yeah. Burgle Bros, my number 3. Everyone should try Burgle Bros. I want to play Burgle Bros 2. That's the casino version.
Mm.
And that one has like different win conditions at the end. Like you flip over, you do the different cards, and it's like now you have to make it out with like a tiger walking with you, and you have to like mingle with all these people in the casino to get your getaway. Yeah, it's crime heist board game. It's a blast.
Is the second one set up like this too with the levels?
The second one, so the first one, by the way, doesn't come with any of that level stuff, right? The first one, you just do like a grid of 4x4, three different grids. But it's important to do it with the level, I think, because how it works is like you find the stairs on one floor, and that stairs takes you to directly above. So as opposed to like going onto like the same portion of the grid, and then like the guards can like go to like different spots where they see directly above and below. So it's just like a whole thing where it makes more sense to have it with this grid. But the second one has a solution for that, where it's only 2 floors, and the box itself opens up to become the 2 floors.
Right.
So yeah,
Cool.
Burgle Bros 2, Electric Boogaloo. No, it's called like Capers or something. Casino Capers.
There you go. What's the third one going to be?
The Search for Burgle Bros 2. No. Right. I don't know. 3D. Burgle Bros 3D.
There you go.
Tell you what, I got Tim's card when I was at PAX Unplugged. So
he's such a cool guy.
So we'll just get him on and ask him ourselves.
Should.
There you go.
That's what we'll plan on doing. All right.
All right. So my number 3 also involves some loot of some sort, but a little bit of a different situation here. Definitely not co-op. And that is Diamant, also known as Ink and Gold, depending on which version you have. They're essentially the same exact game. This is big time push your luck, where you're going to be playing these explorers, going deeper and deeper into these different caves, trying to collect treasure, a bunch of gems and things like that. At the beginning of the game, you're going to flip over one card to start the exploration. Now, the cards can either have a red gem, I think, on it, which is worth like 5 points, or a bunch of white ones. I might be reversing those colors, I forget. But basically, you put them all on those tiles, and then everyone is going to decide if they want to keep exploring or take whatever they have and leave. So you're going to split up that treasure evenly as possible amongst the players. Anything left over stays on the tile. So at any point you can say, I'm out of here. I'm taking the 4 gems that I collected, and I'm going to wait till the next round. Or you can keep going. So this is one of those games where everyone takes their meeple and puts it in their closed fist and then reveals. And if you have it still, you're going to stay in. And you go and you flip over the next card. So that's how it goes. But some of the cards are traps. Now, the traps don't necessarily do anything bad unless 2 of the same kind come out. So there's like a snake trap and a spider trap and a lava trap and things like that. So let's say the first snake trap comes out, no big deal. But if the second one comes out, anybody left in that tunnel is going to get out and not get any of the money. So it's push your luck as it is, but then it could be super swingy too, because you might leave and then the very next card has 14 gems or some ridiculous number that comes out like that. And the less people that are still in, the portions get bigger. So there's that. It definitely can be frustrating, but it is definitely silly. And there's a lot of those, oh man, kind of moments going on. You get to play over 5 rounds, I think. So even if you're out in the first one, you got some time to catch up. But it's interesting because as lucky as it is, your decision to keep going is going to change as the game goes on, especially if you're behind in points. You got to stick in. You got to stick in no matter how dire it looks, because you have no chance otherwise. So interesting one. It is able to be played remotely, actually. We have pulled that off before, so there's that. And yeah, this is another one that's very easy to teach. Great one, fast, good party style game. Major push your luck. Diamant / Ink and Gold.
Man, it's been forever since I played that.
Do you have this game?
I used to play. I knew someone that had Ink and Gold, so we would play that a bunch.
I need to actually play this. I have not played it, but I've heard about it. So
I think the components for Diamant in the yellow version are a lot better. It comes with like a little
Yeah.
treasure chest that you put the gems in and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I didn't realize they were pretty much the same game because basically what you're describing right now, it sounds like they're the same game pretty much.
As I've never played Ink and Gold, as far as
Yeah.
I've always heard, they're pretty much identical.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the artwork is different, but
Yeah.
Diamant.
I'm laughing because the way you described the fact that if you're right behind, you have to push and you have to you're forced into something perfectly describes my next choice.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Can't stop.
won't stop.
Won't stop. This game, I love this game. I first started playing this one on Board Game Arena. I own a copy. It's physically sitting next to me now. It is a much bigger
Ooh.
box than I expected. I remember when it arrived. Thought it'd be smaller. It is so much fun. You're rolling dice and you're taking combinations and making choices on which of these tracks 2 to 12 that you're going to go up. 2 and 12 are shorter tracks, and number 7 is going to be the longest one because it's the combination of dice are going to get that more often than not compared to say a 12 or a 2. But you're trying to do this and get your pieces to the top, and when you've got 3 pieces to the top, you have won the game. When someone is way ahead, you have no choice but to keep rolling. And you could just have the worst luck in this where on the first roll, nope. But that later in the game, that's possible because there's just no spots. Because you have to remember, once someone's got to the top of 7, that combination of 3 and 4 equaling 7 is no longer going to help you because you can't go up that track. So I don't think I need to spend a ton of time talking about this. All I really want to do is just recommend people play this one. So much fun. It is a blast. I love putting this on the table and playing it. Again, easy to teach, but you don't feel like again, it's a level set at the table because it's all luck when it comes down to it. And you have a great time just trying to kind of, do I take that extra roll? And there's a real, those kind of moments. So
Yeah.
that is Can't Stop. That is my number 3.
I actually just played this for the first time 2 days ago.
What?
Yep.
It's addicting when you start
Ever?
playing it.
Yes, ever. Remotely, by the way, too, actually. This is the closest I think to like a casino game, right? Where like you're rolling those dice and you're either really happy or really not. What is this code?
Yeah, this is the OG Cones of Dunshire,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah, it really
for
is.
sure.
I'll just talk right away about Can't Stop. Can I talk about Can't Stop?
Yeah, you can.
Cool, because my number 2 is go ahead, is Can't Stop. So clearly, Anthony, your list is invalid unless Can't Stop is on here. Can't Stop is such a great push your luck nonsense. Oh my god, is he going for it? Is she gonna do it? It's just like it has all those sound effects when you play it because that's how it is. I've never played it in person. I've only done it on Board Game Arena. I've done it live on Board Game Arena. I've done it remotely on Board Game Arena. You can't stop talking about Can't Stop. Can't Stop. Yeah. Just play it for real. And okay, I'm gonna bring this back to what you were talking about before with Diamant. So I haven't played Diamant, but I have played Ink and Gold, and I prefer this style versus the Diamant style in Ink and Gold because they're very similar games. Like, do you keep going or do you stop? That's pretty much how the game is gonna go, and then it goes to the. But the thing is, you're doing that as a group. In Ink and Gold, whereas this is just you, it's you by yourself. And Barros, you're right, because when it comes to a certain point, you just have to keep going because you are so far behind and you need your numbers to come out. It's not gonna happen, but when it does, it's so good. And yeah, Can't Stop. Sid Saxon, by the way, like one of the I guess like the grandfathers of modern board games.
Yeah.
Acquire.
You know?
Acquire is
Acquire.
overall on BGG 300 still. It came out in
Yeah.
1964.
Sleuth, you know, like this guy, you can't stop this guy. You know, like Can't Stop Express this guy. You know, don't play Can't Stop Express. It's okay. Just play Can't Stop though.
Oh, we should point out that is an actual game. Can't Stop Express. We
Yeah.
Tabletop Express.
Ah.
So we, you know,
There is. Yeah. It's not as good.
it's not. I dislike it actually, but yeah, Can't Stop. People should play this. That's
yeah,
all
and
I'm
again, so you have 4 dice, you choose only 2, and you know, and then you just keep going. You just keep going, and I have seen custom made versions of this because I don't own this game, but I saw the coolest one I saw. Someone made one out of Carcassonne and Settlers of Catan pieces. So they did the Carcassonne tiles to indicate the different spots you go on, the meeples for the pieces, right? The pieces as to where you're going on the track, and then on Settlers of Catan, you take the numbers and you put them on the tops of each. And yeah, it's on Board Game Geek, that picture I saw. And you know, so if you own Carcassonne and Catan, you could play Can't Stop, assuming you have 2 additional dice, right?
And you could play Cones of Dunshire, the mini version.
You can play Cones of Dunshire, the mini version.
So, there you go.
Just don't step
Tiny
on
epic
them.
cones.
Yeah. It's all about the cone. I'm all about Anthony's number 2 now, so we can stop making any more puns on this one because I think
Please.
we've met our quota.
Cool. Well, let's see. I kind of forgot what my number 2 was, to be honest. Can you just bring up the slide and I can talk about it from there?
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh yeah, zombie dice. That's right. Sorry, I was last minute to getting my stuff done here tonight, so I apologize for that. But zombie dice is in the same realm and same designer, I think, and publisher as Martian Dice.
Different
We
designer.
own both of those. Different designer, is it?
Yeah.
Oh
Steve
yes, this
Jackson.
is actually Steve Jackson. But the similarities are that it does come in a round container.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of dice. The biggest difference is instead of rolling all of them, you're only going to be pulling 3 dice out of the cup and rolling. So there are green ones, yellow ones, and red ones. And the symbols there are either shotgun blasts, which are bad, brains, which are good because you're zombies, and then there's feet, which are basically like a reroll. Nothing kind of happens there. But the green dice have more sides that have brains on them, so you're more likely to get brains with those. And red is more shotgun shells, so yellow's in the middle. You're gonna roll all 3 dice. You have to keep the shotgun shells. You're gonna keep the brains, and then you can stop if you don't have 3 shotgun blasts yet. If you do, you lose, and you would lose any brains that you acquired on that turn. But if you keep going, you can get a couple of more dice from the cup as long as you're always rolling 3. So like if you roll 3 and you have 1 set of footprints, you're going to choose only 2 more dice out of the cup. So now you have 3 again to roll. And you can just do that as many times as you want until you get 3 shotgun blasts, because then your head is just exploded and you don't get any brains. That's it. That's the game. First to 13 points wins. Very easy to teach. I've had a lot of luck playing or teaching this to some younger folks and some after school programs and things like that. And again, one that you can bring pretty much anywhere. I mean, it's just a cup at that point. You know, maybe not the public library because it's kind of loud when you shake them up, but you know, a restaurant, something like that, Elks Club, perhaps. You can get this right on the table and just try to get those brains.
I'm very pro this style game just because it's so portable.
Yeah.
You know, it's right up there with, I have it sitting next to me, my pocket hive, as I can throw the crap in a bag. I mean, I could throw the dice in this bag with pocket hive and have both games with me. So so I'm a big fan of this, and I haven't done zombie dice yet. So I had to go. I gotta get this one out. Though I really want to get a proper copy of Martian Dice. But
I'm surprised that, because this is really always available, zombie dice. I'm surprised that no one has picked up Martian Dice again. That's interesting. I didn't know it was out of print.
Well, because TMG just went under. They're probably. I mean, like Crusaders was just announced today that it's getting republished.
So I think I'm hoping it's just a matter of time, because it's really not. It's making dice. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. There's a
And
couple of expansions for this too.
Yeah.
There's Zombie Dice 2 that has, I think, a couple of like a hero, a hunk, and like a babe or whatever, like your B movie characters. Couple of dice there, and then there's a Santa Claus die, and then we also have the school bus expansion, which comes with this ridiculously big. I think it's a D12, maybe a D8. That has all kinds of stuff on every side. There's all kinds of weird things, but you can definitely get plenty of mileage out of the base game.
And you brought up a great point that I didn't even real think about. If you because you said a great after school game. I think if you're starting a gaming group like at your school or like like something like that, like this is a perfect candidate for that. I definitely think so. This is a great like, hey, let's goof around and try this out.
Yeah, I mean, you teach it in 30 seconds, like
Yeah.
literally. You can teach it while you're playing. Here, take 3 dice out of this cup, roll
Yeah.
them, and I'll tell you what they mean. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I will say my next pick, and my number 2 is one where you're actually going to use strategy to drive the most potential success in the game, but in the end, it comes completely down to luck. We did this game during our live stream that we did for charity last year, which we'll be doing again in the fall once again.
Yeah.
It's already on our calendars. We raised $1,000 for local hospital with that one, and it really important work. And we played this game, we played Wonka's Golden Ticket, and you're going to be strategic. You're essentially playing a very Istanbul-like game with this because you're moving around your character's actions. My player board in particular that I have in my photo here, I started out as Charlie. He had like no money. He had other advantages. You actually get to take these cool actions by sweeping cards. So you actually take this action to sweep cards under your board, and that's a good thing. You're not. That's how you're spending your cards with the sweeping action. You're collecting money, and ultimately you're taking these actions in terms of sweeping to collect Willy Wonka's chocolate bars. You're spending money to get chocolate bars, and the board itself, when it comes down to it, again, it will look similar. If you ever want to teach someone Istanbul, well, show it to them a few games later. They're going to be like, oh, this reminds me of that game. But here's the thing. And Ryan just said it. With Golden Ticket, you can't have a gotta win mindset. And it's true.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you're getting chocolate bars. The end of the game, all we're going to do is go open up our chocolate bars. Oh, I didn't get a ticket. The setup of this game took me like 45 minutes making the freaking chocolate bars because I had to put them all together. But it's so much fun. And then in the end, someone could get all the chocolate bars and take the victory. They could say, also, I want to share it and give it this chocolate bar to someone. And now we get to share the victory. But it all comes down to luck in the end. You could totally just, get no chocolate bars despite having the most, and it's so much fun. And the thing about this one, and the reason it's number 2, is thematically it's perfect, literally perfect. It makes you think of the chase to get these Wonka bars. So pair this up with watching that movie, the original, ideally, in my opinion, but that's just my perspective, and then play this game. I mean, that's to me what you should do. Such a blast. This is Golden Ticket. So I love this one. It's just fun and silly, and it is what it is, and it does it perfectly.
I'll give you this. I did like it better in Istanbul. For sure.
You don't like Istanbul, though.
I don't like Istanbul.
No, I know.
But you have to do that with the setup every game.
No, the problem was I had to fold all the little things that chocolate bars go in. So I had to make all the different chocolate bars. It's easy to put the chocolate bars right back in once it's all set up.
This game is, by the way, they missed the mark on this by not going legacy. Give us actual chocolate, please. That would be pretty rad.
Yeah.
Because I would like that. And yeah, you're right. If you're a fan of the 70s movie, it has all the art, art inspired by it. All the characters are there, but without their faces.
Sarah's mentioning, by the way, she thinks with Tug exclusive not available in Canada. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I can double check. If I can ever also help out with that, let me know. I know shipping is crazy right now. So if I see anything really good that would help with that, happy to, because it is a fun game. And it's true, the original Wonka movie. It's the best one.
Who
All
can
right.
deliver it?
But it is number one, which is what's coming up next for you, Ryan.
Oh, that's my number one. So, okay. This game I played early on in my gaming time, I guess, hobby gaming time. It's an older game, but it is one that it's a luck-based game where there's no dice. It's really push your luck, and it's also based off of a popular tourist attraction / tragedy, I guess, from way back when. But hey, it's board game now, right? This is my number one is The Downfall of Pompeii. So, Downfall of Pompeii is a really, really solid game, and it's still pretty fun. I played it recently on Yucata, and if I didn't play on Yucata, I probably wouldn't be on this list. And in this game, you are setting out your little cylinders, your people out into the city of Pompeii, right? Because there's going to be the big volcano, right? You send them all out, and then after you send them out, you go to the next player, and everyone just keeps sending them out. And there's different ways to send out multiple, and you kind of want to make sure that you're setting all your people as close as you can to like the exits so they can really make it out. Because what's going to happen is they're going to stay in the city, then the volcano happens midway through the game, and that's represented by those tiles. And those tiles will start just coming out from this bag, and it's up to the players to decide where those tiles are going to go. It starts off on a central spot, and then each tile goes adjacent to like the matching icon. So like if you see right there, like there's one with like the orange circles and like the white and the blue. Those indicate like where those tiles are going to go. They have to go adjacent to the matching suit, I guess. And the thing is, when you do that, if you cover up any pieces that have people in them, those people are just thrown into that plastic volcano. Which, by the way, if you have like one of those LED lights, that like those candles, you should definitely put that inside of there because it looks really cool on the table. Someone was posting that recently too on Facebook.
Yep.
That they just said that. This game is really fun and really like, oh my god, am I gonna get my people out? And because you don't know what's gonna come out, and you're hoping that you get because the player who has the most people out wins. That's basically how it goes. And yeah, there's like bonuses, like if you have the number of people that are in that tile, that's how many spaces they can move. So if there are 3 people in that tile, regardless of player color, that if you're moving, you can move up to 3 spaces away. If you only have 2 people in that tile, you can only move up to 2 places away. So you really want to think as to where you want to put your people, because the thing is, then you start playing with like, okay, I guess I could make it so my guys go here, so I have better movement for the future. But at the same time, there's risks where the exits themselves could be blocked off, and then it's like, oh, I need to go to another exit now. And yeah, it's a great time. This is a good one. This is a really great one with a lot of people. Just like playing and just like getting your pieces in there and then getting them all out. It's just like it's kind of a riot playing in person. And
I love this game.
It's
this
really
was
good.
going to be on my list if it wasn't on yours.
Oh man.
And yeah, you want to talk about sound effects. I mean, you draw that card, it's an omen, and it's like, oh, now I get to kill one of your people, and you go
right
into the volcano, and then you could pull another card. It could happen again.
Yeah.
Right. So you could sometimes eliminate 2-3 pawns in a row.
Yeah.
Just by the luck of the cards. And to your point, Ryan, this is great at any player count.
Yeah.
My wife and I play this 2-player a lot, and it's still just as strategic, just as chaotic.
Yeah.
Was it play up to? Was it play up
2 to 4, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where this game is like always on sale. I see constantly like it's $20 on Amazon now, and I'm just like, is this gonna be the time I get it? I don't know yet, because like I would like it for my collection, but like I don't know. I think it's a great solid game, you know, it's really fun. Got that push your luck thing, but you know, it's just a matter of, do I want to hold on to that game or not? I guess I'm playing the long game, the in real life game of the Mechanics of Downfall of Pompeii. Is this the time I buy it, or do I just let it go? Because there's gonna be a point where it's just gonna go. Oh, I didn't realize that it's the same carcass. It's the same designer as Carcassonne.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, this is really
I
good.
think it's a better game than Carcassonne personally. But anyways, I digress. Downfall of Pompeii. Give it a shot. It looks ugly. It looks boring. You know, this looks like a game like your social studies teacher would be like, "Hey guys, want to play the Downfall of Pompeii?" Like, yeah, you know. So it's trust me, it's not a social studies board game.
No, it's a lot of fun.
It's actually a really
It
lot
might
of fun.
make them more interested.
My one knock on this
I
game
wonder-
is that setting up the deck is a bit of a drag. Like it's the most it's like a whole page on how to set up just the deck of cards, because you take a certain amount of cards out first, then you make piles of cards, then you mix in these other cards, then you put them back together, and then you take out some cards of the game completely. It's a lot, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Play it line. By the way, I was not taking any shots at social studies teachers. Sorry, sorry, Josh.
Uh-oh. Shots fired.
Go play it.
All right, so my number one also has a mountain in it and is very similar to the one crossover that was on this list, which is Can't Stop. My number one is called Mountain Goats. This is my newest game here. This is from 2020. And essentially, this is a King of the Hill type of game where, yes, you're going to be rolling dice. You have a mountain goat at the bottom of each of these valued mountains from 5 through 10. And you're going to be rolling, I believe it's 4 dice still, making combinations that are going to add up to those numbers. Any combination you make, you're going to move your mountain goat up that many spaces on that mountain. So, just like in Can't Stop, you know, the odds of you getting to 10 are lower than getting to 5. If you get to the top, you're going to get that many points. So, at the very top of each of these mountains is a pile of point tokens. So, let's say you get to the top of that 6th mountain, you're going to get a 6 token. You're also going to stay at the top of that mountain. And if you roll 6 again on your next turn, or 2 of them, you're going to get more of those 6s until someone else gets to the top and knocks you back down to the bottom. That's the whole game. The only other way that you get points is if you manage to collect one of each of these values from 5 through 10. You get a bonus point tile that starts off at 15 points, I think, and then goes down to 12, whatever. And basically, there's 4 of those. You could get more than one of them. If you get 2 sets before anybody else gets one, you're going to get even more points. The game ends when those are all gone, or I believe 3 of the mountains are completely depleted. Very simple, but very stunning to look at. I love the artwork in this game. It's, you know, very small box. It's right here, actually. Tiny little square.
Ooh.
Right? And it's great. Another one that can be played remotely. Even if the other people do not own this game. I've taught this to my in-laws who do not own it, and they were able to play. All they needed was some dice, and we do the rest. So Mountain Goats, my number one luck-based game. If you like Can't Stop, guaranteed you like this game.
I
It
saw that
sounds
PAX
awesome.
Unplugged, and I
Yes.
almost picked it up. Instead,
So at PAX, there was a 3-pack by this designer. So it's Mountain Goats, Sequoia, and I'm forgetting the third game. I've played Sequoia as well, and it was also very good. But out of the 3, well, out of the 2 I played, definitely like this one the most. Pick this up.
That's where I picked up Kabuto Sumo for myself and Ryan.
That was the same booth.
Oh yeah,
I
board
made-
game tables. Yeah.
Yeah, so I made the choice of this over that, and I, knowing you have this, I need to go play it. But the fact that you compare it to Can't Stop and all those positive values,
That's how you sell me on this game.
yeah, that will, because Can't Stop is great.
Yeah.
I will
I should play
say,
this.
my number one will not surprise anyone who saw my top 20. If you didn't see my top 20, then it may surprise you. And it is a game that I love. If it's in my top 20, you know that. And that is Quacks of Quedlinburg. And the reason I mention this one,
Quack, quack.
I love this game so much. And you talk about a game and I won't go too crazy here, but I will just say this. I've never won this game still. Still, I've played like 15 times, never won. I love this game all the same. I have every expansion. This is a game though where you're going to start with the same bag as everybody, and you're going around your board drawing out all these ingredients. But if too much of the one ingredient comes out, blows up. Forced to stop. You're limited in the actions you can take, though you can still take an action throughout the kind of the resolution of the next part of the game. But the nice thing about this is wherever you've stopped, because they all have different numbers. So if it's a 3, you get to move 3 spaces, and you're kind of working your way around your pot. Well, you're going to get money based on where that spot. You're getting points and you're getting money. So 2 things are happening. And really the money is buying you the ingredients. So then you get to go, whoever got the farthest gets to go first and buy an ingredient. And then again, going on and buying ingredients, filling your bag. The thing about this is you're not guaranteed to get anything in that bag. The more you fill that bag, the less likely you are to really, get anything at a given time. But you can increase your odds. So you can mitigate your luck in this one. But when it comes down to it, I will tell you, it is definitely based on luck. And I say that because in the last round, it never fails. I pull the 3 white pieces almost immediately, and I'm almost near the 7 that blows up my pot. And I feel like it happens every time. So I love this game. I think it's a blast. You can be there's certain sort of strategy in there. The games as they go on, as you add the expansions, I think actually add more and more strategy potential. And so the base game itself, really, and this is actually a great point that Josh brings up. The original game was tough to feel behind, no real catch up featured the engine, and the expansion helped with that. And that is true. And that's really, I guess what I'm getting at is the base game, once you fell behind, it was tough and you really had to do that same action that I talked about with Can't Stop. I think you could say it gets fixed, but some people might like that other method, where you have someone playing catch up. So depends how you want to play it. But there's really fun ingredients and ways that these ingredients have these abilities. So there's a lot of fun in this game. We have talked about this quite a bit on this channel, and I can point people back to a few things. It's probably time we do it. Is this game for you on this one? Because I've mentioned it like 5 times now. But this game, yeah, a great game with plenty of luck in it, but fun for everyone. And as with all the games I've mentioned, very easy to teach, and I think people can jump right into this. And going off your theme, Anthony, very zoomable. I have zoomed this with our some of our close friends whose collection I've watched grow from like 2 to 25 or 30 at this point, and they watch the channel on occasion. They always tell me like 5 days later after I drop a video, hey, I watched your video, and also I bought a game. So
oh, cool. Well, let us know which ones you purchased from this list.
Yeah, I'd like to know if he picks up anything from this one. But yeah, that's Quacks of Quedlinburg. And I do like it. I will tell everybody. I like it with the expansions. I do think they do add a balance that if you do want to mitigate luck a little bit, but I'm telling you, luck will always be a part, no matter what you do in this game, to a fairly heavy level.
But then we could agree, right, that the catch-up mechanism in the first game, the rat tails, is complete garbage. Like, I get it that it's trying to be a catch-up mechanism, but it's not. It's like saying, "Oh, this is a catch-up mechanism." No, it's not. It's not. Just stop pretending it is.
It helps you in that round, but it's not catching you up with points.
It's not.
Yeah, so you're not gonna. Yes.
This game, if you're in behind, you're getting further pushed into the mud. You know? And
the expansions have certainly. I will tell you, with the expansions,
I still like the game, by the way.
I do. Look, I've never won the game, and I'm telling people how much I love it. It's in my top 20. So there's an experience with this game. So I stress that it's so much fun. I love it. I've heard Kabuto, or what's the one that's
Cubitos or
Cubitos?
Yeah, it's Cubitos, I think.
This game, much like I feel about Raiders of the North Sea, I don't need Raiders of Scythia. I probably will feel the same. I love Quacks, and it's like I said, it's a big one for me. It's my number one in my favorite luck games. So I did want to bring up, if it's okay with everybody, though. I did ask the question on Twitter earlier today, and I
Oh,
just
not okay.
wanted to read what some folks
Yeah,
said.
no, I'm not okay with that either.
Yeah, we're not okay with that.
So Brian Chandler did chime in. He had said hit Z Road, pretty swingy based on dice rolls. I clearly didn't listen to you, by the way.
Hit 0.
Then
Go ahead.
number 9 was another one that got mentioned there. Risa, our good friend of the channel, Risa, said, Tesoro of the Seas, I managed to roll the dice in such a way that I spawn Diakachu right where my boat is, and I need to play that one. I do need to play that one. Two Most Difficult, who joined us for our Three Sisters game, Anthony, a few weeks back, says, aside from a 1975 Smash classic, Gambler, he said, I'd have to say Ink and Gold or Can't Stop. So there we go.
There you go.
And then so we got
It's right on one of those.
Yeah.
The Mountain Goats does look really cool.
Yeah. We got another goat for Tesoro of the Seas, and then Silver and Gold got one, which basically saying that keeping one puzzle piece concealed per round is great for those trying to make plans, and then oops, I need a square. So much fun. So there's some luck in that one in that sense. Didn't think of Silver and Gold, but I definitely, like I said, I almost picked Hitsy Road. So thank you to our community for chiming in with some great thoughts on that one. We do appreciate that. And that is a look at our list. And just so everyone can see, this is a bit of those games for you to be able to view easily here. I do want to drop a friendly reminder. We're actually approaching, and numbers mean very little in the long run. It's about the community. But if you've been watching these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, we definitely encourage you to subscribe today. We definitely would love to see you here on the channel and in our chats. And of course, go check out Anthony's stuff over on Board Game Dads.
Yeah.
We got we got jokes here, by the way, everybody. If you don't like Mountain Goats, I guess you give it a nay. We got
I saw your recent video, Anthony.
Yeah.
The time travel one.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
Got it. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I did comment on that one just because
You did. So did Ryan.
I will comment tomorrow.
His future self. The best comment though was Evan. He was like, "No patchwork on this list. I'm out." Because we do patchwork on like almost every holiday, and then I was thinking it was like that time you killed me with the 3 boards could be like three different quilts, and if you sew something in the past, it comes up in the future.
I'll bring that up with them. Look, I want to thank everybody as always for joining us here on the channel. Anthony, as always, we love having you. So thank you again for being such a big contributor here on the Tabletop Express.
Well, I got the season pass, which pays for itself in 2 visits. So everything else is just gravy.
I'll take it. Ryan, I know we've got some good content on the way. So I just want to make a shout out to one in particular piece. We've got a Creators Corner coming up on the 14th. But we also have Brian Chandler, who we don't always get on camera here. He's huge behind the scenes. People don't always see him. But Brian Chandler is going to be on the channel for his top 20. And I'm excited. We're also having Riley coming on. Riley's got a podcast. He's awesome. And you should listen to it. And we'll tell you more about it when he comes on. But we're going to be on there talking about Brian's favorite games next week as well. So good stuff on the way. And then also we've got more things coming your way with your recommendations, your thoughts. So please give us your feedback, things you'd like to see. And other than that, drop a subscribe. And we just want to say thank you for coming aboard the Tabletop Express. This has been our favorite luck-based games.
Toot toot.